Oh, okay, there we are. Good morning. I thought I'd jump pretty much into this. I was thinking about doing this yesterday, but I just didn't really want to. And what we're looking at here, jumping right into it, is who I'll refer to as Crazy Rita. And there's a story behind it, and she's not insane. It's just that's what a couple of us called her. And it wasn't meant to hurt her because she was pretty good natured for the most part, seeing all the stuff she had been through. But okay, this is the aerial view of her house, and as you can see, I cannot zoom any lower than this. Alright, this is our old street, Washington, and her house. And second, as I've explained in a different, maybe 2 or 3 videos, alright, 2nd Street runs east-west. But it shows it on here kind of cockeyed, but you get the general direction. This down here toward the bottom is south, and of course up the top, north. So this would be her front door, but she has this other door, this side door, and then there's a back door, and there's a cellar, a root cellar, which that might be there, this little area, lightened area here, might be, but to show you, and I said we were within, I believe, the 1,000 feet of this that used to be known as, for years, Melita Day. And I say for years because even my sister, who's 10 years older than me, attended this very daycare. Okay? And this here is the corner of what used to be our property. And there was the vacant lot, and then our house, which this complex here, housing units have been built in instead. And this here would be our alley. This would be the phone pole, this long line here. The phone pole at the corner of next to our house, and the alley, and then another, what used to be another vacant lot from the alley to 3rd Street. Okay, so in effect, if I can get it over here, this area from like near this phone pole here up to this corner here was our property. But that big empty lot, except for at the back, we had the dog pen, and at one time our C-band satellite dish. Okay? So that would put our front door just about right across the street from this Atkins, what used to be the Atkins Chemical Lawn Care Company. Alright? Our front door looked right across to that. That's their little alley / driveway. Alright? Our front door, approximately here, up off the sidewalk, up off the street, of course. And we didn't have much of a front yard at all. It was very small. Our yard mostly consisted of north of the house, which part of it was in a chain link to the south of the driveway, and then the north of the driveway, where we had some flower beds and a rose bush and a couple, 3 3 cherry trees and maybe a couple other ones, but clear over to here. We were allowed to buy this property, folks. Maybe you can see it better this way. Okay, imagine this is our property, our house in this section here, near that phone pole. The corner of the alley there in Washington. So it would be a walk from, generally we used the front door unless we were working out in the garage or yard there, because it was just easier to keep an eye on. You know, these days you can't just not keep an eye on your door if you're going to have it unlocked. And so he would take Bradley in the mornings right across the road there. No problems. No problems at all. But see, the thing is, and I remind you, he was sentenced as a repeat offender. But he's always contended and even given us backup proof. My dad and I, who's now R.I.P., his parents too, both dead, mine both dead, that there wasn't, there just wasn't. And then I noticed this morning on Crazy Rita's house, bless her heart. Hi Rita, guess you ever see this. This little strange thing here. See, this would be her front porch. And then she had her front room here. And like a little sitting area here with the steps that went up. And back here, at one time, might still be there, they had it plumbed with 2 little child-sized bathrooms at the back, boys and girls, and the door was in between those 2 rooms. Okay, and she said she's found some stuff in that old house, and she's got a wall that looks like it's imploded in her house upstairs. And that's weird weird because, and I'm not an architect, but if it was going to start having structural problems, wouldn't they start at the bottom where the ground movement is, the tremors and traffic vibrations? Because I'll show you how freaking close we were to the tracks here. Okay, that's Main Street. Maybe I think they did. This is, no wait, there's Main Street there. What was this one, the alley? Yeah, I think so. Goes behind her house. Yeah, and she had a big collapse there one time in her alley, and it was like $100,000 hole that fell through back there. Alright? Moving right along. We lived about less than 2 blocks from the tracks. There's Main. This would have been the viaduct or little bridge. Maybe this still shows it. Yes, it does. And there's the tracks. Missouri Pacific uses that. Okay. That must be new, this auto sales there. You can see someone getting in their car. See the shadow there of someone getting in their vehicle across from those shops there. Okay, I wonder what that little thing is. Because, see, she mentioned last couple of times ago that I talked to her, and it's been more than 3 years, I'd say, that she was rooting around in her house, and she loves that house. She feels that house is connected with her. And she loves to be in that house. And she found a little trap door one time that went up. Little trap door and stairs. And she was going to show me, but I was kind of scared. I didn't know what it could trigger of me. Because remember, I attended this daycare when I was small, just like my sister had 10 years earlier. Okay? So I do wonder about that little thing. And you wouldn't if you were standing down at the sidewalk and looking up with the slant of the roof. That might be hidden. I'm thinking that's a little room that's built in between the different pitches of the roofs. Because she also told me one time that her house was only half of what it was, and they trailered over the other half from somewhere else and put them together. So maybe we're looking at the old original here, or would the old original be here? I'd say the old original would be this section here with the porch on it, you see, because you've got 2 front doors there. Well, I always knew that one has a side door, just like ours had a side door. Okay, but that little thing there, that sure is curious. What in the blue blazes is that? And like I said, standing down, and those old houses were pretty tall. I had people tell me they wouldn't roof a house that high with that pitch of roof on it. They just wouldn't do it. They only would roof newer structures for obvious reasons. So to stand up and look at something and not see it because it's tucked down in these different little, whatever you call them, trench, whatever, pokes. I don't know. That looks strangely odd right there. It's this little section right there. Alright? Keep in mind, she has a retaining wall around her property. Part of it. Excuse me. And she liked to get out there and plant her some flowers and decorate for Halloween. Halloween was her favorite. She had a lot of kids, you know. But that doesn't explain why R.I.P. Terry wanted to sit here when our house was here on the front porch and watch the neighborhood. But see, I see this strange thing. Maybe that's a bush. I saw this kind of strangeness over here in Rita's yard too. I don't see it now. Kind of a circular, there it is. And this was all a lot of pea gravel back here. Pea gravel like they use on playgrounds. And she at one time did have, it might still be there, a piece of the old playground equipment. You see? Well, I'm running out of time, and I did want to show you this, that we had been allowed to buy property, 65301 Sedalia, Missouri, that was located, the house of it right here, in what's now a parking lot, across from that daycare, and not anyone said anything to anyone about it, as far as I know. And I'm sure if they had not wanted us there, they would have mentioned. So thank you.